Hey, welcome to another episode of Heroes and Videos. Well, it's summertime, and that's when most folks go on vacation. My family is no different. We take an annual sabbatical every year to the great state of Maine. I like to bring comics with me on vacation, particularly that vacation. I'm curious if the rest of you do that as well. Stick around to the end of the video because you'll find out the unfortunate fate that often befalls the comic books that I bring on vacation. Please hit the like button if you enjoy the video. Would love to have you subscribe and hit notifications so you'll be notified when I drop new content, hopefully a couple times a week. With no further ado, let's get into this. I bring a couple of different types of books on vacation. I bring books that I'm trying to catch up on reading, like titles that are out, like new books primarily that I've wanted to read and maybe I've just fallen behind on. So I bring stuff that I want to read and catch up on. I may bring some older stuff that I want to, look at again, or a book I might want to reread that's particularly good. And I also bring books that I've read that I want other folks to get excited about, whether that's family, extended family, friends. We want people to enjoy things we enjoy. And when you read a really good comic, and I know you've experienced this, you want other people to get excited about it too. So some of the stuff I bring are things that I've read, but I'd like others to get psyched about as well. First off, a few trades. The Human Target series that Tom King did a few years ago. It's collected in trade paperback here. I've got the issues, but for bringing for the trip, I went ahead and brought the trades. Just a great film noir story. Starts in the middle of it with a murder mystery to solve, and it's just a fantastic book. If you haven't read it, it's a great pickup. Tom King just does his usual great work, and the art's fantastic. The covers for all of the books were just really something else. Great pastels, just a great noir kind of look to it. So definitely recommend that, particularly if you're a fan of the Justice League International series from way back. It's those characters, but it's a completely different take on it. Also got a hardcover Manhunter collection, the Manhunter series from Detective Comics way back when Archie Goodwin and Walt Simonson did that. Got this one signed by Walt Simonson at Baltimore a couple of years ago, but it's just beautiful storyline. And this is one that I'd read years ago, and I just hadn't read it since I picked up the hardcover. But it also probably falls into a category of something you'd want other people to check out, because it's just that and the Human Target series would be great things to hand folks that have never read a comic. It's just great storytelling. Last of the trades I brought was Jim Starlin's Metamorphosis Odyssey, which is where Dreadstar got his start. You'll see that is autographed. It's a collection of the stories from, I guess I have to be careful which page I open here. These were not for kids. It's a collection of the black and white shorts that were in Epic Illustrated back in the 80s, I want to say. I have some of those original books, but that was, I brought that so I could catch up on it and hadn't had a chance to look at it since I got it in Charlotte recently. I'm just pulling out the hits here. I don't have all of the books here in front of me because this would be a 90-minute video. Don't worry, it's not going to be a 90-minute video. But I just brought a few issues of each run. Feral is just a great comic book. I can't recommend this enough. This is just a really good book. Maybe I'll do a signed video here. I've got the first issue signed by the creators, or one of the creators. It's kind of a Aristocats. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember the Aristocats. You can Google it. Maybe it's on Disney Plus. It's a animated movie, animated film. But it's kind of like Aristocats meets zombie movie. They do some great. They've got some great. I'm drawing a blank on the V word. Variant covers. Yes, they've got some great variant covers. Look like films. It's basically like. Is it a zombie outbreak or is it just rabies? I honestly don't know at this point. No spoilers. But it's fascinating. It's written in that not funny animal style, but the animals are obviously the main characters, the cats there. And I haven't read Stray Dogs yet, but it got a lot of acclaim. Feral is really, really good. And that's one I was bringing to catch up on, because I have a number of issues I haven't gotten to yet. Also brought the first few issues of Batman Hush 2, or Hattush. I don't know if like Van Forstick, if we're saying Hattush there, but that's one of the ones I'd read that I also wanted to get, would like to see if get my kids back into, or get them back to reading Batman. They've been lapsed on a little bit on that as well. Also got the first couple issues of Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell. Whoops, excuse me. There we go. Those are ones mainly I've been buying that I want to catch up on myself. Next up are two limited series. Well, I'm not sure if the second one's limited. I've got some of the covers over here behind me. That's Avengers versus Aliens. Excuse me, Aliens versus Avengers. I guess we're going alphabetical, though, being an Avengers fan, I kind of want to put Avengers first, but Aliens versus Avengers. You'll notice the artwork there and the names on the cover. This is Jonathan Hickman, and I don't remember Mr. Ribbick's first name, but it's the team that brought you the most recent Secret Wars, which again was just an incredible book. But if you like that, you'll like this. This is a little darker than that because it is Aliens versus Avengers. It's a 4-part series, and I've enjoyed that very much. The other series, limited series I mentioned behind me, I don't know if it's a limited event or not. It's One World Under Doom. I am really enjoying this book. This is another variant cover. I say limited series, but who knows? Because we may be living in it's Doom's world, and we're just living in it. So, it's a fascinating concept of Dr. Doom being Sorcerer Supreme, and a lot of interesting takes in that book about I don't want to say the Mussolini issue, but the fact that is the world better off with Doom running it? It feels a little weird, but really good book, and the covers are striking. Brought this one. This is one I enjoyed last summer, the All In Special. I believe it was last summer that got kind of the DC, their new Absolute universe started, and it was a great book. I wanted to reread that, and would love to see if my kids would read it as well. So got the All In Special. Speaking of summertime, it is the Summer of Superman, obviously, the Summer of Superman Special. Couldn't resist this crypto cover. That's just really cool. I guess it's also variant cover summer apparently for me. It's a really good story that sets up Superman. Sets up a great storyline going on here. It involves time travel and a certain Legion of Superheroes villain who a lot of times is kind of a big baby, if that clues you in on terms of who that is. But it's a good book. It's all in one, and it kind of sets up a lot of storylines going forward in the Superman universe. Speaking of Superman, also have this reprint, if you will, of the Treasury edition with the Battle of the Century, Superman and Spider-Man. Ross Andru, who, although he doesn't make my top 3 Spider-Man artists, looking at you, John Romita Sr., Ron Frenz, and, oh my gosh, Todd McFarlane. I don't know. What Ross Andru might bump Todd off that list. Sorry, Todd. I'm sure you're watching the show. Ross Andru I'm a big fan of his just because he was the Spider-Man artist that was drawing the book when I started collecting it. And it's kind of like your favorite Doctor Who, or your favorite Doctor, I should say. It's whoever was doing it when you started doing it, always hold a special place in your heart. But that was one that I wanted to reread because I had the treasure years ago and wanted to read it again. This next one's one that is just such a great run. This is one I want other people to read. If you're not picking up World's Finest, go back and get it from the start. Get trades if you have to. Mark Waid is putting out not just some of the best DC comics right now, but just some of the best comics, period. I think that's evident because not only is he, what he's created with this World's Finest, and really a World's Finest imprint for DC, where they've done other books like Titans where they're putting things in, and I've talked about this in other videos, where they're telling new stories, but it takes place in the era a number of years ago, like when Dick Grayson is still Robin, that kind of thing. And this is a nice little self-contained issue. I'd read this one, though I am a few issues behind on reading World's Finest. I'd read this one, but this is one I was hoping, if somebody was interested, hey, what are you reading? Could show them that. Wrapping up here, we just got a couple. This is another one of those. Daughter's a huge X-Men fan, but I'm not sure if she's caught up on things. And she loves Ms. Marvel. So this Giant Size X-Men #1. I don't know how many volumes of Giant Size X-Men we're going to have at this point, but this one's really good. And you notice that looks a little strange. She's part of the new X-Men crew jumping out there. This thing's taking a lot of heat online, but honestly, just like when films come out and everybody lines up with an opinion before they actually see it, read the book. It's a really good story. I'm enjoying it, and it's going through a number of Giant Size titles. They're doing X-Men. They've got Giant Size Death of Phoenix, or maybe Giant Size Dark Phoenix Saga, Giant Size Age of Apocalypse. She's I don't want to give too much away, but it's just a great story, a great storyline with Ms. Marvel and interacting with the X-Men. If you'll recall, when Bendis did the thing with the original X-Men coming forward in time, and somehow timey-wimey stuff, they now remember all of that stuff, or retroactively. Not to make a couple of Doctor Who references in the same video, but the timey-wimey stuff is weird. But so it's an interesting. I like the interactions between her and the X-Men in the book. It's a really good story. Last two, I hadn't read this one when I went on vacation. I didn't read it while I was on vacation, but I have read it since. And this is one of the weirder books I've read in a long time. This is Ben H. Winters and Leo Max. It's a book called Benjamin, which I picked up for any number of reasons. Just the title got me, but the book is beyond weird. It's fascinating. It's 2 issues in. I have both of them. I think it's only going to be 3 issues. I'm going to do a whole video on this series, on this trilogy, I guess it will be, because this is some really weird science fiction stuff here. If you like meta stuff, if you like science fiction, if you like writers, if you like some trippy art, the covers are pretty bizarre too. This is probably my under the radar book. What is it? Bronze and Modern Gods, I think, does some kind of under the radar book. So that's the book. That's the book that it was flying under my radar, but I'm really excited about it. It is off the wall. It's very strange. And then last up, we talked about this a little bit in a previous video. Death of the Silver Surfer brought this, and this is one I'd also read, but I enjoyed it and was hoping somebody else would get the same, would have the same impact on them. Now, I mentioned early in the video the unfortunate fate that befalls most of my comic books when I bring them on vacation, and it's not as bad as that sounds. What usually ends up happening, and I'm curious if the rest of you are like this too, I don't end up reading them. I bring them. I've got a knapsack just full of comic books, and what I just showed you are just part of that. Like, had all the Doom run, had all of the Aliens versus Avengers run. So I probably bring 50 comic books at least every time we go on vacation, and 9 times out of 10 I don't end up reading any of them. So it may be what is it, a fool's errand? I don't know. It may be silly to bring them. There have been some years where we get maybe it's raining a lot or whatnot, but yeah, most years not only do I not end up reading them, but I'll end up getting to share them with anybody because we're all having too much fun. Now that's a good thing. We should get off the screen, as crazy as that sounds, right? Doing a video, get off the screen, get out the house, get your head out of the books every now and then, experience things, be present. But But yeah, but the big plan is I bring these comics every year, hoping to read them and share them, and more often than not, do not. The one thing I did read this time was that Metamorphosis Odyssey. I did sit down and was reading this every evening until I did finish it up. And good book. So, and Jim, I know just like Todd, I'm sure you watch the channel every week as well. Appreciate it. But yeah, that was the one that this year made the cut, the exception that proves the rule, I guess. So that's it for this episode of Heroes and Videos. Appreciate you watching. Be present. Enjoy your summer. I hope you guys all have wonderful vacations. Would love to hear about your vacations in the comments. Let me know if you bring comics on vacation, and and if and where you go. What's your favorite vacation place? In the meantime, keep reading comics, keep going to see movies, and be kind to each other.